Where we always looking for more. what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Always looking for more. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more?
Hello and welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. Hello and welcome to qualifying day or night for round 8 of the Adrenaline GT series here on ACC, proudly brought to you by TrackSpotTV and RavenComms. And tonight it is the very famous Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium, a beautiful circuit here for the Belgian GP. And looking forward to this one here this evening. Knockout qualifying session, of course. Q1, Q2, then a top 10 shootout for the top 10, would you believe it, at the end of this evening. As I welcome my co-commentator this evening, it is the voice of AGT, or Mr. AGT, as we like to call him here, the one, the only, Isaac Fogarty. Good evening to you, Isaac. How was the traffic there in Sydney?
Good evening, Trev. We've somehow made it in one piece all the way home, just in time to get stuck into some qualifying action here at Spa. Super excited for this round. Obviously, last time we did a knockout qualifying and ended with 2 drivers setting the same time for pole position. That was Simon Bishop and Josh Struick. So if last time we did this is anything to go by, Trev, tonight should be an amazing night. Cannot
wait for it. Not just Isaac alongside me this evening. We've got a special guest. That's right. It is Liam Tame, also a New South Welshman. Bet you couldn't have got through the rest of your evening without knowing that. But AKA Viper, as some people call him, or Yuki, as he's been more affectionately known here. Isaac giving him that nickname a few weeks ago, of course, throwing you under the bus already. Good evening to you, Liam. How are we this evening?
Good evening, Trevor. Good evening, Isaac.
Konnichiwa.
Konnichiwa. Yuki here. No, hey guys. Awesome. Stoked to be here. Super excited to call my first ACC race with you blokes. It's not even a race, actually. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm just itching to get a part of it. Quality's going to be so exciting.
Absolutely cannot wait for that. Let's have a quick recap so far in this championship. Round 1 seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? Was the Italian job before we headed to the Spanish Super Sprint. Eventually, we had a couple of goes at that before the Spanish Super Sprint was completed in round 2. The Silverstone Clash in round 3, and then it was the King of the Ring, the first of the sprint rounds at the Red Bull Ring, of course. And it was the American Grand Prix round 5. Round 6 it was the TrackSpotTV Challenge. Somebody was away in Melbourne. We won't talk about that too much. Then it was the community vote for round 7 on the 25th of July. And now we're going to take a look at the drivers' standings here, Isaac. There is still a little bit to play for here, but there's some big gaps on these standings. Matt Donetti in the pro class really running away with this one.
Well, he is at the moment. However, there is 300 points on offer for a race win this weekend. So if things do not go Matt Donetti's way, and I hear at the moment he's a little bit unwell, so he's doing qualifying tonight, but he's a bit touch and go for the race on Sunday. So if he does miss this round, it's a key chance for Simon Bishop and Josh Struick to claw back some of those points. So I wouldn't count out a championship battle for the overall just yet. Obviously, looking at our Pro-Am standings, Adam Gray also seems to look like he's running away with it a little bit. But remember, Bob Norley, he missed we missed Bathurst, he missed the TrackSpotTV Challenge, then he had a rough time of it at the Nordschleife last time out. Max Silver, though, has been on a charge. He's outscored Adam Gray in the last 2 rounds, which means that he is starting to claw back some of those points to our Pro-Am Championship leader. And then, of course, Ian Stewart, who is away this week as well, which is prime time opportunity for Wayne Tanner to jump himself back into that AM class lead. So a few key players missing this week or in previous weeks, which could open up these championships.
Absolutely. Let's keep an eye for that. And the teams here, Isaac, CP Motorsports, as you can see there, right down to BCG 1, 334 points between them. I forgot to introduce Liam as the BCG 1 driver, of course, but Isaac, look at this championship, still plenty of points to play for in the final 3 rounds, as you mentioned, so we could see this team's championship, a lot of shuffling around as well before the season finishes.
Oh, we absolutely could, Trev. And look, we now have, as a result of the round that was, the Nordschleife, we now have 3 teams within 100 points of each other, which, you know, this weekend could go either way. All 6 drivers will be in on the track on Sunday, so there's going to be a lot to fight for. Don't count out Team XV Primer. Those Mercs are struggling here at Spa, but they definitely still have some pace in those cars, and even though BCG1 is missing the man himself that's in the box tonight, Liam Tame, they still have Simon Bishop there. Still a golden opportunity for them to get some precious points.
Absolutely, and moving across, of course, to tonight, the Belgian GP. Of course, tonight, the knockout qualifying on your Friday night, and then it is a 2-hour race, 120 minutes or 2 hours, whichever one comes first. A pit stop will be required, and what's that? Variable weather, Isaac Fogarty, and especially around Spa, that could mean it's definitely going to rain.
Oh, look, at Spa, maybe is always a yes. So I would not be surprised if we see some rain happening on Sunday, and that makes me very excited because it's been raining in the server all week. So actually, if we don't see any rain on Sunday, I'll be kind of annoyed because it's been raining all week. I really hope we haven't gotten all the rain out. It's nice and dry for qualifying today, but anything can happen, so we'll wait and see.
And it usually does, that's for sure. As we take a look at the track walk here, this circuit, look at this beautiful Spa track. Now, I'm not sure how I would go walking it at my age, but this circuit, it's one of the classics. It's one we all love. And it all kicks off in Sector 1 at La Source. Very important here, Isaac, through Eau Rouge to get a good run through into Sector 2 on this lap.
The run up the hill through along the Camel Straight down toward Lacombe will set you up for the entirety of this lap. A very long circuit, 7 kilometres, pretty much on the dot. This layout has been in use since 2022. 19 corners for our drivers to navigate, 9 to the right, 10 to the left. And 103 metres of elevation. Most of that, or pretty much all of that actually, is going up through Radion and Eau Rouge. And then the 1 kilometre straight, 1.05 kilometres is that Camel Straight. So a long time, plenty of opportunity for drivers to get a slipstream down there to make some overtaking moves as well. Beautiful
circuit. I haven't met anybody who didn't like a good Spa day, that's for sure. Now we're going to head to the track in just a few seconds' time. In fact, we're going to do that right now, and we join our drivers at the end of Q1. And for those new to the knockout qualifying format, just please, if you would, Isaac, run us through as we enter Q2. It, of course, is an elimination qualifying session. Let's just give us a brief rundown on what our viewers can expect here tonight in this qualifying.
Yeah, well, if our resident cameraman for the evening could jump us over to the timetables, I'm more than happy to explain how this session works. So we've just had qualifying 1. Drivers 21 through to 28 have been eliminated. So Matt Dinetti was the fastest driver in qualifying 1 for this race, or this first session today. Then Josh Struick, then Matt Simmons, then Braden Henderson. But if we scroll, you have to scroll a little bit down, all the way down to the bottom. You can see in 21st place is Matt Boyd, then Mark Sinclair, Daniel Wood, Wayne Tanner, Clayton Twining, George DeCax, Bob Norley, and Adam Joy. 2 of our key Pro-Am runners as well, last and second last. And so that's who's actually going to be eliminated from the first session. So we've set grid positions 21 through to 28. And we'll now go qualifying for the second session, where we'll set grid positions 11 through 20.
Absolutely. Fantastic stuff there. And of course, we have got Mr. BCG1 joining us. Liam Tame, from a driver's perspective, as we see the cars begin their Q2 session. What is this circuit like? You've done a few laps around here in your time. Give us that driver's perspective. What is it like sitting in the cockpit around this beautiful 7-kilometre circuit?
Oh, to be honest, I don't think I'm the best person to be asking about that, Trevor. I've never had fantastic results here on Spa, to be honest with you. But it's a very fast and flowing track. Obviously, a lot of commitment required, especially through that middle sector. It's so tight and technical when you get down to it, especially through the Fanyush chicane, which of course sets you up for the Staveloes. It's just important to really maximize your exits, and as long as you're getting those right, you're carrying that speed through the corners, and you're just setting yourself up for every next section coming through. And that's mostly what you're thinking about here. Qualifying, obviously, maximizing lap time, maximizing exits, getting this all right, and watching the traffic is another big talking point.
Absolutely, and the thoughts of Liam Tame, like I said, who usually would be driving for BCG1. We are looking at Matt Donetti at the moment through La Source, and the turn one there, of course, slightly different pit lane here on this for this weekend. Matt Donetti coming in under a bit of an illness cloud. Isaac, quickest time, if I'm not mistaken, in Q1. It hasn't slowed him down too much, has it, here in Q2?
No, well, he did say he's unfortunately suffering from RSV, and he did say it's costing him a few tenths, but it didn't seem to affect him too much in qualifying one. However, it is important to note we have limited tyre sets for this qualifying session, so only 3 sets of tyres are available through our drivers throughout the evening. Fans of the AusNZ Endurance Series will note that when we do the qualifying sessions there, they also have limited tyre sets. They have 2 tyres for that. So 1 more set of tyres available for tonight. So technically, it's 1 for each session, for each qualifying session. Or if you're right on the bubble towards the end of qualifying 2, you can take your second set to give yourself the opportunity to get into the top 10 shootout. It just means you'll have a roaded set of tyres for the top 10 shootout. But we're seeing some pretty quick times so far this evening, none less than the man on the screen. Now, Liam, I'll ask you, because you seem to have your nose in and around the driver camp a lot more than I do. I try to stay as active as possible. But what have you been hearing in terms of looking to be on the pace this week?
Oh, there's always a handful of drivers you can kind of poke a stick at and a lap time falls out of them. I think this guy on screen, Matt Donetti, is certainly one of them. I've been pretty privileged to share a car with him through a couple of Enduros, hoping to team up with him in South Africa in a couple of weeks, which will be awesome. I think he's definitely a guy to watch. He's a wicked operator, especially in shootouts. He's pretty bloody good. Obviously, Simon Bishop, my teammate, I'd be fired from the team if I didn't mention him, as he goes to the top with a 17.2. And that's a pretty decent banker, if I do say so. Of course, Nick Carter behind in second place now. Only 3 cents off, that's great. Matt Simmons not nailing the banker lap, 7 tenths shy. All those guys in the top 4 are wicked fast, easy to put a lap through there. Josh Struick, of course, another one that, of course, should be talked about. He has been incredible through his debut of AGT, and he's really bringing that Mustang to life.
Absolutely, and how good is it to have an actual driver from this championship? Isaac, how did you manage that? I would love to know. A couple of New South Welshmen getting together, probably talking about rugby and NRL and all that sort of stuff, and then you've invited the great man Liam over for this qualifying session. But round 8 of the championship already, as you can see now, the times are coming in, and it is M. Donetti there. Capital D at the top, Isaac Fogarty, 2:17.152. That's going to take some beating, but it's not about that. It's about creeping into that top 10.
Yeah, absolutely. It's all about that that top 10 shootout and getting into the 10, having your name there to be in the question, because you never know. You could qualify 10th, do your lap, and then someone else in front of you or multiple cars could invalidate their lap time, make a mistake, and then that's positions to be gained for you. So this is about getting into the 10, and that's what they'll all be focused on now. Matt Donetti, a very, very good time of a 2:17.1. And you would think that would be relatively safe. Like we talk about, Liam, we talk about the previous session here. So we have done a race here before. Round 1 of Season 1, we qualified here. And I believe I've got these numbers in front of me, but I've also sent them over to you. The pole time for that race was a 17.2. So we're already seeing times that are faster than what we saw there. Do you think that's just down to the drivers doing more and more laps around here, or do you think track evolution also plays a part in this session?
Tough to put a finger on it, to be honest. I think the BOP may have changed slightly from then till now, so that of course could be something that we could consider. Of course, these drivers, they love driving, right? They always want to be behind the wheel of a race car. I'd love to be doing qualifying tonight myself if I wasn't busy on the weekend, but unfortunately I'm here talking to you guys. But no, I think they've definitely done enough laps recently to really dial in the time and go better. I think the idea for me is that the top time might not tumble too much, but what we're going to see is that top 10 in particular is going to get so much more competitive than what we've seen in previous seasons. I think, if I'm not mistaken, Isaac, it was somewhere in the region of about 1.3 to 1.5 seconds between the top 10, if I'm not mistaken. And I suspect that's going to fall a fair way this season. I think it's 1.6 back to match-in 10th currently. I suspect that's going to come down to somewhere near a second by the end of the session.
Absolutely, as we see this session, and I've got to say, it feels weird being out of control. Let's have a look at this man, James Machin, part of the TTR crew, of course, and just on the cusp. Just inside the top 10 here, down to the final corner, the bus stop chicane. It's probably not called the bus stop anymore. It used to be a much different series of corners there. Used to go into a chicane before that, but you guys, you young blokes, probably thinking, how old's this guy? But less than 7 minutes remaining now. Who can you see, Isaac, moving and shaking here towards the end of this Q2 session? There's some pretty big names inside the top 10, but there's a couple of big names outside of the top 10 currently.
Yeah, well, that Liam Tame guy is in 21st at the moment, so he might want to get a move on if he wants to get a decent lap in before the end of this session. But Hurley and Hutton, as being pointed out to me on this broadcast, was about to bring them up as well. These guys have a lot of pace. Obviously, Hurley, he's a reserve driver, but he falls into our pro class. Same for Bruce Quadrell there. Cameron Fleming as well, currently sitting in 11th. They're all drivers that have the pace to, I'd say anyone from 10th all the way down to 15th, even a couple just outside the 15, well within the chance of getting into that top 10 shootout. So there's 15 drivers at least in this field right now that could find themselves into the top 10 shootout if they can put a good lap together. We're seeing Quadrell, he was coming to the end of his lap there, but it looks like he's just invalidated. That's Hutton as well, who's gone off. So that's going to cost a set of tyres, and that's the other thing that we talk about with these limited tyre sets the drivers have available to them. It leaves less room for mistakes. Like if you have an unlimited set of tyres, like we usually do for this, you make a mistake in a qualifying lap, you go back to the shed or the garage, put a new set on and go again straight away. Here, you can't afford to do that. If you make a mistake on a set of tyres, that's going to cost you, and you might have to either use that set again and take the pain of using an older set, or you'll have to use another new set of tyres just to get a good lap in. But this is Frank Horvath on your screen at the moment, the 211 car for TTR Eastside. What can he do as he comes towards the line? He's a fair way off at the moment. He will cross the line. Does he improve? No, he doesn't improve his position, and he'll stay in 18th place. But we might see a good lap time yet to come out of a lot of those guys outside the 10.
Absolutely. Who will be on pole? Danetti, Simmons, Struick, Bishop, or somebody else? Let us know in the comments. And Arnie enjoying the commentary there. And you can see there plenty of people involved here this evening, as we've got a picture of a couch, and we're not looking to have a nap anytime soon because we are getting to the end of the Q2 session. And we do apologise, we're just having...
Been trying to change what I've been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more?
Welcome back. I do apologise for the technical issues, but it was just a little break there in proceedings because we have less than 3 minutes to go in this Q2 session. Matt Donetti, Simon Bishop, get your votes in, by the way, across on YouTube. We are streaming it to both YouTube and Twitch tonight on Adrenaline GT on YouTube, TrackSpotTV on YouTube, and also on Twitch. And get your votes in, but it is still Matt Donetti in P1 with a 2:17.152, and the pack is closing. You can see there 1, 2, 3 tenths between second, third and fourth. Struick down there in fifth. We are watching him at the moment, but let's have a look. Fleming, Sheepers, Horvath, Hurley, and no Ferraris inside the top 10. Gentlemen, Isaac, oh, that's not what we want to see.
Well, not if you're a Ferrari fan. I personally am a Mustang fan, so I'm happy that we've got at least a Mustang inside the top 10 at the moment. I think we have a couple in there. We do. We have 4. So I'll take it. Very happy at the moment. And Mr. BCG over here will be very happy. He's got at least 2 of his drivers in the shootout at the moment. Cameron Fleming, still a little bit of work to do if he wants to get himself into the equation. But that gap you spoke about, Liam, how there was 1.5 seconds between the top 10 when we went racing last time at Spa. It's now 1.4, and I'd suspect that gap will continue to close as this session goes on.
Well, and it just opened actually, Isaac. So Matt Donetti with a 16.8, and it's the first driver in the 16s this session. That is an absurd lap time there from Mr. Donetti. That is going to take some beating. That is a mic drop to the field if I've ever seen one.
Say again, 2:16.837. Well, I know he's coming in under, so he's got some health issues and health concerns, and we do wish him all the best. But like I said before, it's not slowing him down too much as Quadril running very wide there, and that has affected his lap. Yep, invalidated. And he is off. And here is a beautiful looking BMW as we see through the final part of the lap, approaching the bus stop chicane. He's got to get it right here. Otherwise he might not get through to Q3 in the top 10 shootout. Let's have a look at the times. You look at the timing boards as they come onto the start finish straight now. Across the line we go. And it...
Oh. Not close enough.
Not close enough, but he will get another go as there's a yellow flag out down there at the other part of the circuit.
Oh, someone spun down the bottom. Was going to note as well, we have asked in the chat on the AGT YouTube channel who's going to be on pole. So if you haven't got your votes in, make sure you do. But so far, 62% of people are saying that Matt Donetti, 67% of people, sorry, is another voters cast, are saying Matt Donetti is going to be on pole. Only 22% think that Simon Bishop will be on pole. 11% Josh Struick. Matt Simmons yet to get a vote. Justice for Matt Simmons. But it looks like Matt Donetti is the most popular, the biggest favourite to get on pole. And at the end of this session, we only have a handful of cars out on the circuit. One of those is Cameron Fleming. Our key runners in and around the top 10 are pretty much all out besides Cameron Fleming and Nathan Hutton. And Max Silva sits in that 10th place spot at the moment. So Max is holding on to P10, but will there be someone to knock him out? Cameron Fleming, Nathan Hutton, what can they do, Trev?
Oh, let's wait and see. We are getting down to the business end. I was one of the 67%. I'm probably not allowed to vote, of course. There's a bit of an interest there, but Matt Donetti sits on P1 at the moment. CP Greeny says, go Max. Oh, no, he doesn't. He says Matt Donetti's not sick. He's sick with those little sick emojis as Henderson pulls off. No, he doesn't. I beg your pardon. I'm getting that excited here, going from screen to screen. And so we come down to the bus stop chicane. He's inside the top 10. Is Henderson. Can he, well, he's going to stay there, isn't he? Unless Fleming can do something about it, or Hurley down there in 16th, because everybody else, Isaac, is in the pit lane as Henderson can't improve.
Yeah, well, Henderson doesn't look like he's improved, but he's in P9, so he's most likely safe. It's all down to this man, Cameron Fleming, through the bus stop chicane. He's very wide. He spun the car, and that'll be it for Cameron Fleming. He carried a lot of speed into the bus stop to try maximise the time and he just lost the rear end of the car, and that is such a shame. It looked like a strong lap from the BCG driver, and he'll have to settle for 12th place on the grid, but that does leave our shootout order. We have top 10 cars are set. So I'll read them in reverse order because this will be your shootout order. So Max Silver will go out first, followed by Braden Henderson, then James Machen, Adam Gray, Adam Elzine, Josh Struick, Nick Carter, Matt Simmons in third, or third last, Simon Bishop, and then Matt Donetti will go out last to attempt to, and all these drivers, sorry, will attempt to set the time fast enough for pole. What a top 10 that is.
Look at the names, Liam. Look at the names, Isaac, inside that top 10. Donetti, Silva, Machen, and Simmons, just to name a few, Liam. They are big, big names in the world of sim racing, and we've got them for the shootout. We certainly do, as we get ready to go in reverse order for the shootout there, as we're getting ready now, aren't we? I do believe that the tyre restrictions for this round are somewhat eased, as we see that's got to be Henderson, or is it Silver, I beg your pardon, out onto the circuit. It is Max Silver, and in the chat, Isaac, it is go, Maxi, go. They are, come on, Maxi. There's plenty of love in the chat for this man, Max Silver. Don't mind the name Max either.
He's a good bloke. One of the admins here at AGT in the ACC side. And I believe this is his first shootout appearance, maybe his second. I think we saw him at Watkins in a similar position. So he's hoping. I know last time he did a shootout, he got his lap invalidated. It didn't count, which he was very annoyed about. So hopefully today we will see him set a valid lap. He'll be very nervous, but he's worked hard to get here. He's one of only 2 Pro-Am drivers. The rest are all pros in this shootout. So there'll be a lot of pressure. Liam, you've done a shootout here and there, your time. What are you feeling? What are these drivers feeling as they head out onto the circuit?
The shootout's just nerves, to be honest with you, Isaac. I've never really stood to the pressure of the shootout. I've had a few okay results in my past where I think the best way to really get amongst it is to just forget the moment. A lot of people say breathe into the moment, kind of go with it, run with it. But for me, forgetting about it and just putting your head down and even putting yourself somewhere else can honestly be the best way. I'm very much a casual-minded driver. I don't like fully focusing on what I'm doing. Too much concentration is too much stress, too much pressure. If you just let it flow, let it happen, and kind of admit that how this lap is going to go is just how it's going to go, I think that's how these guys are really going to get the lap time out of it. And just enjoy it, importantly.
Absolute beautiful perspective there from Liam Tame. BCG 1, Liam Tame across the line. Max Silver, what can he do? Let's have a look. We're going to wait and see, because now he is starting his hot lap down into La Source. Everything's up to temperature, up to speed, and now it's just him and another 7 kilometres of this Spa circuit. And just watching these cars flat out through Eau Rouge we go into Radion. Oh, hold your breath, Isaac. Look at that over the top of the curbs. It's looking like a good lap so far.
Oh, it's a very good start to the lap. Eau Rouge is where you can find all your time. And so the pressure is now on as he runs down towards Lake Com for the first time, or the only time, in this shootout session. Look at the car across the curbs. He's been struggling. All the Mercedes drivers have been struggling for pace all week, and that's a testament to the fact we only have 2 Mercedes cars in the top 10 shootout. The rest are BMWs, Fords, or just the lonely Porsche all on its own. We are working on getting that top 10 shootout order as well locked in, so we know who's going where, but it is definitely Max Silver, and then Braden Henderson will go next. This is a lovely start to the lap, though, from Max Silver. Look at how he rotates the car down through, I believe this is Puon, but I'm still learning the corner names here. But Liam, what is he going to be trying to do in this last sector? Where can he find the time?
Just close it out, really. He's really just got to bring it home now. He's still doing all right, head's still in it. Hasn't invalidated the lap, importantly. He's keeping it on the black stuff. And we see so many people make a real meal of these shootout laps as he just fights the car a little bit there through Stavilo 1. Hooks it in nicely through 2 on the apex. Out through the exit using all of that road out to the curb. And realistically, there's not much more he can do now. There's one hard braking zone to go at the bus stop, and you just need to hit your mark. And it's one of those corners too, boys, where you think about your braking zone so far beforehand because there's really nothing else to do. And before you know it, you're here. And as he goes into the brakes, into the bus stop, and Trev, bring us home. This has been a pretty good lap.
Let's have a look and see. Right then, the left, out onto the start-finish straight. It looks solid. Boy, have you got plenty of time to think about your braking points. Like you said, Liam, it is a 2:17.630. That is a very solid lap as we wait for Braden Henderson to find Motorsport then on provisional pole position. But what can the other Mercedes do? That lap is getting me excited, Isaac, but it's not getting me that excited, if you know what I mean.
Well, there's if that's getting you a little bit excited, just you wait because we've got more times to come. But it's now over to this man, Braden Henderson. And he's done this before. He's got poles in this series. He has got race wins in this series. He's a very, very fast operator at this circuit as well. He's been putting down some quick lap times all week. He has been struggling compared to the likes of the BMWs, but don't count him out yet because he knows how to string a lap together when it counts.
Absolutely. 17 votes. Can you believe it? Still, it is Matt Dinetti leading the way in our vote over on YouTube. But let's take a look at Henderson. Prevails. Everybody in the chat. Fat Furby as well. Solid lap there. Go, Hendo, go. And he says that for everyone, doesn't he? But let's have a look at this lap now. Looking good so far. Let's keep an eye on this one. Through Laycom, 7, 8, 9, 10. And 11 coming up now. Very important to get all of these right if you're going to have a crack at that 2:17.630 for Max Silva now. Let's have a look and see what Henderson can do. He's had an interesting time of it, of course, for Team XV Primer in the pro class, of course. His teammate, Bob Norley, finished 6th in Season 1, of course, and they're doing very well so far this season as well. As you can see here, continuing through this final part of the lap. And they're in 4th in the Teams Championship, of course, now. And it's got to be a good, solid finish to the end of the lap. It's looking good here so far. We can't see the comparisons, Isaac, but it's looking good as he uses a little bit too much track there.
It's looking very good indeed. This is a great lap from Braden Henderson. Obviously, both of the Mercedes getting us underway here for this qualifying session. But here we go. This is a crucial part of the circuit. It's so easy to carry a little bit too much speed through Blanchimont and run wide, but he does just perfectly here. As Liam said earlier, it's important to pull the car up at just the right time, braking just before that curb. Not a lot of curb usage. Doesn't meet the apex in the first phase, but does in the second phase. Out of the final corner now, gasses it up towards the line. What is this lap time going to be?
Oh.
It is just clear of our Dusty, only 200ths faster, Trev. So what a close time between the two Mercedes drivers.
Unbelievable, Liam. Less than a 1/10 of a second, 0.023. Oh, that's really setting the tone for this top 10 shootout here this evening.
Man, there's just so little room between the AMG drivers there, and that's a very respectable effort there from Hendo to get that done. That's an awesome lap. Both cars in the 17.6s. But we move our attention now to James Machin, of course, flying the flag for the Mustangs along with his TTR teammate there. Of course, the other two Mustangs as well that I'll just obliviously forget. But we're watching Machin now as he heads down towards Eau Rouge and Radion. This Mustang, of course, one of the biggest assets to it has been its straight line speed, and the way it takes off out of corners, I expect nothing less than a rocket ship heading up here.
He is absolutely flying. TTR West Side. And we know that our man Foggy doesn't mind a Mustang. There's a few of them. There's 4 of them, in fact, in this session. So very well represented. But it is the two Mercs, 1 and 2. and the only Jimmy, or James, of course, in this top 10 shootout. And that is a pretty useless fact, but still like to keep the audience informed as we go through this middle part of the lap here. This circuit can catch people out. This used to be called the corner with no name, of course, and it still doesn't have a name on my track map either, Isaac.
Well, it doesn't have a corner name on my track map either. To be fair, my track map doesn't have any of the corner names, so I'm trying to do it off memory. But this is a solo lap so far from James Machin. Obviously, he did a 17.8 to get into the shootout. We've seen 2 times quicker than that so far. So drivers seem to be improving their laps. Well, lap on lap, but session on session here, which means we should see a faster time from the Mustang driver. But what can he do as he runs down through into the final sector now? A little bit wide there on the exit of the curb. I don't know again what corner that is, but the run down through, this is through Blanchemont now, Liam. These cars now have a restrictor on them, so they have a little bit less power, but that doesn't seem to have slowed them down.
I think importantly, the restrictor has actually brought them back a little bit closer through the cornering, which is what Machin's going to want to get right here as he goes very deep into the first part of the bus stop. That's going to throw a bunch of time away as he comes to the line in this pony. And it's going to be in the wall, actually. So he's put it in the wall on the straight. He's clearly not happy with himself. And it's an 18-2 in the end for James Machin. And understandably very, very frustrated with how that lap went.
Well, that he just veered off, didn't he, there to the left of our screen. So meantime, he's gone 0.6 of a second further off of provisional pole position. Still that time from Henderson of a 2:17.607 doing the business. People in the chat want to know who made that pole. Should have had Max and Hendo in the pole as well. You might have to talk to the AGT team there on YouTube now as we look at this man on our screens as that pole has now finished, of course, as we get a load of another Mustang here. And it is the man himself in Adam Gray for TTR Southside. Here we go. Isaac, look at this lap.
This is a great lap. Great start to the lap as well. Well, I think we'll have to get another poll up and see what people think now, but we'll get onto that in just a minute. This lap, we need to keep an eye on it first. Very aggressive up through Rouge and Radion up the hill. Now using as much of that Mustang power as he can down the Camel straight towards Lacombe. This is a crucial part of the circuit. Mustang cornering is probably, I'd argue, a little bit better than what it used to be before the power got taken away, and he flows it nicely across the curbs there through the Lacombe, and now a little bit wide on the curb. That shouldn't invalidate his lap time though, and he'll now push on for the rest of the lap as we run down the hill now. This is the downhill section of the circuit. It's a very key part of the circuit, very hard, or very easy, so I should say, to make a mistake here. Very hard to get the flow, but when you do get a flow through here, Liam, the car feels super nice.
And the Mustang as well is a very rewarding car to thread through here, especially Sector 2. Getting a lap right in the Mustang is arguably one of the best to do it. And just a quick word as well on Adam Gray, who of course has kind of come out of nowhere onto the Australian ACC scene for console. I remember being a part of one of his first ever ACC races less than a year ago in a McLaren at Imola, and I'll tell you, the leaps and bounds that this man has made since then is absolutely admirable. And I think a top 10 performance here in qualifying so far. We'll see where he ends up. Good lap so far, but it has been an absolutely awesome calendar year so far for Adam Gray.
Absolutely, he has been incredible, hasn't he, so far this season. Let's have a look, final part of the lap. Here we go, through to the bus stop in the beautiful Mustang. Right, left. Oh, it's not quite a Mitsubishi FTO, is it, Liam? But here we go, onto the start-finish straight and over the line now. What's it going to be? Is it good enough for pole position? It certainly is not. And it's less than a second, but importantly, it is nowhere near a 2:17.6.
That is huge. And that tells me that maybe they're running, I don't know if they're running old sets of tyres, if he's made a mistake. Looked like a relatively tidy lap. Again, I've said this before, I'm pretty sure I said this to Watkins, when tidy does not necessarily mean fast, but it looked like a good lap from Adam Gray, so just a little bit confused as to where the pace might have gone. Maybe Liam Tame is putting the old curse on him. We usually have Max Silver in the commentary box for the GT7 side of things, putting curses on drivers, but maybe Liam Tame talking him up, as you've put a bit of a curse on him, so try not to curse this man who's now starting his lap, Adam Elzine. He's a young fellow, I believe, 13 or 14 years of age, and is someone that you know quite well, does a lot of racing with yourself in Race on Oz, and he's a very quick operator.
I think there's probably no one better to have in the box than myself for a lap with Adam Elzane, or Tank as he is so well known now. Adam is in his young teen years, only in high school still, and races at night at the mercy of his parents. Can't go past bedtime, of course. Luckily it is only 8:30 here in Sydney. It's not bedtime yet for Adam Elzane, and when it's not bedtime that means steering a GT3 car around the hills of Belgium, as he's gone very wide there actually on the exit out through the RavenComms section down into Malmedy. I almost wonder if that could have been an invalidation of the lap, but he is just been one of the most impressive guys to watch as of late. He holds nothing back, and we're going to see it here on this shootout lap. He's not got that much experience when it comes to shootout laps, but I think in terms of one lap pace, there's probably not many quicker drivers in the field. We've seen on Gran Turismo as of late, he has shown it up to the likes of Andrew Lee, Matt Simmons, and of course Joshua Struick more recently. So we'll see what he's got here on ACC as he threads it now into the Fania chicane. Stavolo coming up, which is going to set him up for a great run up through Blanchimont.
Absolutely, this man, 14 years of age, can confirm, and he has been quick, especially in qualifying, taking every little bit of track that he can there. This is looking good. Beautiful lap so far, beautiful, bright, vibrant orange. What am I talking about? I guess the most important thing is, will it be a purple sector? Importantly, gentlemen, as I'm colorblind here, the only Porsche inside the top 10 shootout for the man better known as Tank. Liam knows him very, very well. It's looking good. Let's have a look and see now, Isaac, how good, just how good this lap's going to be.
Well, let's find out as he runs towards the line. What is it going to be for Adam Elzine? He crosses the line. He will go invalid. So his lap was invalidated when he ran wide. You made that comment, Liam. He ran wide at the exit of RavenComms. And unfortunately, that means that he will not set a valid lap time, which, unless someone else does the same thing, he will start from 10th place, which is a shame for him because it looked like a very strong lap. But now we hand over to this man, the man that came in late to this season but came out of the gate swinging. He won our last Enduro at Watkins Glen quite comfortably. He tied with Simon Bishop for pole position. They set the exact same lap time. What can he do today on this lap here, Trev?
Let's wait and see. You remember what happened in Watkins Glen, so does everybody watching at home. Oh boy, if we get any sort of anything like that happening this evening, I'll be the first to eat my microphone here as we see him. Look at that beautiful camera angle, very fast there. Here we go onto the Kemmel straight now, Josh Struick. And we've seen his teammate there on the second row of the grid, 8/10 off of provisional pole position. That time from Henderson, looking a very, very good. Mercedes 1-2 as we take a look now. Josh Struick, here he comes. TTR Southside, well and truly represented in this top 10 shootout. Does it get much better than this, Isaac? Don't forget, we've got the race on Sunday, but never mind about that here at the moment because we can see his lap now. Is he slowing down? No, of course not. As we continue the run towards turn 12 at Pouon and through the corner with no name, a little bit wide. You've got to be careful on the track limits.
Yeah, you only get one shot at this, so if you invalidate the track limits as we saw with Adam Elzine, that's day done. Your lap will be over. We've asked in the poll on the YouTube as well who's going to get pole, and everyone's saying that Max Silver is going to get pole. Don't know how he's going to do that when he's already got a car that's set a faster lap time than him, but he certainly is moving closer and closer to that front row. So we'll see what happens when Josh Struick goes to cross the line, but this looks like it's been a very good lap so far, Liam Tame.
Yeah, Josh Struick here, threading it through the final corners. That was very wide out of Stavilo 2, and we're going to have to keep an eye on it. I would hate to keep up the trend of commentating over invalidated lap times. We'll stay on him here as he heads through the flat-out Blanchimont. Of course, these modern GT3 cars tackle this so easily. Fast forward, you backtrack 10 years, and that was a pretty solid lift, and even the quickest of GT3 cars as he threads it through the bus stop chicane here, right over those curbs. That's a lovely line through here. Power down in the Mustang. What's the time going to be? Is it going to be set straight to the top with a 17.0? So there it is from Joshua Struick. That is a massive, massive lap time, and there's the conversation to every other driver yet to come. Come and get me.
Wow. What a lap, 2:17.012, not quite in the 2:16s. That is not just a quick lap, Isaac Fogarty. That is sending a statement to the rest of the field as Liam said, come on, I'm here, let's go and play. Come and try and get me here on P1.
That's what Josh Struick does time and time again. He just makes statement after statement, and he will find a way to be one of the quickest guys in the room, if not the quickest. And that is a way to say, come on, boys, let's quit playing around. And you're making these Mustangs look bad because you're 8/10 off the pace of the other guys and made mistakes here and there. But look at what he can do. Now we hand it over to another very seasoned operator in Nick Carter, been with AGT for pretty much since the beginning of this league, all the way back when we did the mini series, and then we did a Porsche Cup series, straight into season 1, and now into season 2. And he's been around, he's seen guys come and go, but he's always been up the pointy end, and that does not change today. We'll have a look. What did he do to get into the shootout? He did if I find my lap times here, 17.5. So he's going to have to go a lot faster than that if he wants to challenge for pole today. But Josh Struick, keep in mind, also did a 17.5 to get into the shootout, and he found just over 5/10. So surely if he can, Nick Carter can as well. But this looks like a great lap so far, Trev.
Absolutely, looking very good indeed. His teammate, of course, sitting currently on the second row, 1.25 seconds off a provisional pole position. This is where we need to keep an eye on through this final part, well, the middle part of the lap, I should say, down towards Stavilo. We've seen some corner not cutting, but just extensions. Let's have a look and see here. Carter, all four wheels off, Liam. What are you thinking there? On the steward's perspective, we know you spend a lot of time in race control. Is Nick Carter okay there?
You know, without putting myself in the steward's chair, he actually grabbed the brake through Stavilo 2, so there was definitely a moment behind the wheel of that Mustang coming through Stavilo 2. So that's catching them out. There must be something going on with the wind down there, but these cars just a little bit uneasy as here comes Carter through the final sets of corners. Of course, getting that power down nice and easy, brings the 711 across the line. What's it going to be? It is a 18 flat, I think it still is. So yeah, not a terrible lap time. Jumps his teammate in match-in, and second row actually. So that's pretty respectable for the Mustangs, which realistically don't have the best quali pace right now.
Absolutely, the voice of Liam Tame, 2024 Motorsport Australia GT7 champion. Plenty of championships between us, all of them with you guys mostly, I take it. But let me take it from here, Foggy, because it is Matt Simmons here, 2015 GT Academy champion, international champion. And, well, I can't read all of this man's achievements because that would take up most of the lap, Isaac.
Well, yeah, if you were going to start listing what this man has done, we could be here for a while. But a few highlights for you. He won the GT Academy Australia Challenge, the Oceania Challenge, I believe it was, and he got a drive in a real GT3 car way back in 2015, if you can cast your minds back that far. So he was fortunate enough to drive a Nissan GTR GT3 car, in real life. He's also driven a TCR car at the Bend on an occasion. He is trying to get himself in a Porsche Carrera Cup, which I personally would absolutely love to see. I think Matt Simmons in a Porsche Carrera Cup car would be a sight to behold. But for now, he's in a BMW M4 GT3 car, and he's not shown up, or he's not done too many races this season, I should say. But every time we've seen him behind the wheel this season, he has been absolutely flying. And this is a man that you have a very long history with, Liam. You've known him for a long time, and his accolades, he's just a real talent behind the wheel, no matter what he gets in.
Yeah, I've been in and out of group chats with this man for the best part of 10 years, and I'll tell you what, he doesn't get more bearable by the day. But without taking the mickey out of him, he is a bloody impressive driver, and what he does in the real world, let alone in the sim, is pretty impressive. He's one of the hardest working drivers in the BCG. Always wants to understand setup, get the best of the car underneath him, and usually makes the best of a bad situation as well. It's been pretty well documented that this BMW probably has fallen apart compared to the highs that we saw it in last season. But of course, these boys putting it in 4 cars in the top 10, and BCG sharing a pretty close relationship with the CP Motorsport cars, as well as we see now Simo, as he will hate to be called, throws it into the bus stop through this final left-hander up on the curb. Nice bit there, using the exit as much as he can without the wheel spin. What's the lap time like? It is just ahead of Henderson to P2. So a 17.5 for Matt Simmons, and I'm sure he'll be sitting there right now wondering where he left time on the table.
Ooh, let's have a look, and the big names just keep coming, don't they? Simon Bishop now. My goodness me, let me tell you, boys, if he got into the 216s there, I would have woken up everybody in this house. It is only 8:46 Eastern time. We're all in the same time zone. That doesn't happen too often for everyone here in the commentary box, as Simon Bishop underway on his flying lap here this evening. And boy, oh boy, could he give this a shake, Foggy.
Well, he did a 17.2 to get into the shootout, so he's the fastest that we've seen so far. The only driver to get into the 16s was Matt Donetti, and he had a fair gap over the field. But there is a very good opportunity that we could see this man go even faster. He knows how to deliver, and I think that is due to the aerodynamic setup this man has going on the top of his noggin. There is it's nice and smooth for aerodynamic efficiency, and that'll be helping him down the Camel Straight as he runs into Laycom for the only time in this session. Very nice curb usage there for Simon Bishop. This man has the number 1 on the door. He is the reigning champion, so he knows how to get things done. He's second in the championship at the moment, but champions are bred on and born on their worst days, and he's had a few difficult days so far this year, but provisional P2 in this session could very easily turn into pole position if things go his way and he puts a good lap in here.
Absolutely, he knows how to deliver, which is more than what I can say for my local Australia Post contractor there after not getting something in the mail previously and having some issues with that. But it's not about that. It is about this. Look at the 2 names left, Bishop and Donetti. And let's just take a look at what Simon Bishop can do. If anybody can give the 217s a shake, a 217-0 a shake there, it is this man. Simon Bishop travels the world. Oh, travelling almost off into the gravel on that occasion, as I was about to give him a rap, but the commentator's curse striking me down hard, Isaac.
Well, the commentator's curse, let's not try and give it to too many drivers. I don't think Liam will be very happy if we give his stablemate the commentator's curse here, but very nice. A lot of curb usage there through Blanchemont on the run down to the bus stop chicane. Here we go, heavy on the brakes. We've seen a couple drivers come unstuck here throughout the sessions, but it's very nice, very neat and tidy for Simon Bishop. Wide on exit, that's fine. There's no track limits problems there. What's he going to do? He goes to second, just under 2 tenths behind Josh Struick. So he jumps Matt Simmons, but it's only second for Simon Bishop, so it does not improve, and it just leaves this man on our screens to set his time, Matt Donetti.
Unbelievable there. Simon Bishop gets his elbows out, squeezes between Struick and Simmons, and it all comes down to this man, Matt Donetti. Everything Liam Tame he has got behind the wheel of. He has been fast across ACC, GT7. Whatever you put this guy in, he is quick.
I think we've got to give him a new nickname, guys. I think Matt Donetti needs to be known as the anomaly from here on out, because seriously, everything he hops in, as you've mentioned, he is rapid in. As he throws it over the top of Eau Rouge there, realistically nothing to gain over the top, but everything to lose. A very, very hard complex to throw everything into. Of course, Matt Donetti still relatively fresh into the sim racing world, but has already taken down some of the biggest names that we've got as he threads his way through Lacom here, up on the curb, through the right, through the left, opens up the corner for the run down the hill now. Plenty of curb on the inside, that shoots him wide, and that could be another case of the invalidation curse. We'll have to wait and see as he comes down through Malmedy, of course, that awkward double apex depending on the car you're in, and then opens up the corner once again for the run down the hill to Puon out of no name, and using all the track there is Matt Donetti.
Absolutely. This lap, is he pushing? Is he pushing too hard? Down through Puon, the entry speed to this corner downhill is absolutely fantastic to watch. This BMW Championship leader, of course, a man who has dominated most of the opening 7 rounds of this series. Can he get it done? 2:17. It all comes down to this, Isaac.
It absolutely does. This is crunch time. Has he invalidated, though? That's the question we are asking ourselves, and we're going to have to wait to find out when he crosses the line. Nevertheless, he's still pushing on, so if he has invalidated, he wants to set the lap time just to know what he could do anyway. But this is the run now down towards Blanchimont. Will he get a nice tidy run through? We saw a very aggressive curb usage at Blanchimont for Simon Bishop. Relatively aggressive curb usage there as well for Matt Donetti into the bus stop chicane. Heavy onto the brakes, does pull it up very nicely and rotates the car very well through the bus stop chicane out of the final corner towards the line. What is this going to be for Matt Donetti? It is second and only just 400ths between Josh Struick and Matt Donetti, but Josh Struick has the pole.
Unbelievable. Josh Struick just holds on to pole position. Unbelievable final lap there. Liam Tame, he got close, but not quite close enough.
And it's a victory in the face of adversity as well. It was only a few hours ago we were thinking that Josh Struick may not even make this qualifying session, and here we are talking about him on pole position in that number 33 Mustang. It's a great story, and I'm very chuffed for him. That's a great time to get out in a one-lap shootout, one-lap dash, all the pressure on his shoulders. But of course, we do know here that pressure makes diamonds.
Absolutely, and boy, did he absorb that pressure. Not quite as close in qualifying, Foggy, of course, as Watkins Glen, but what a session we have just witnessed here at the Top 10 Shootout. Don't forget, of course, round 8 of AGT ACC Season 2, but let's recap. Josh Struick taking the pole position by the skin of his teeth there over Matt Donetti. Ford Mustang getting the job done here this evening. Then it's 3 BMWs, Donetti, Bishop, Simmons, Henderson, and as you can see, the qualifiers there on your screen, as a few of them leave, it is Max Silva in P6, Nick Carter in P7, James Machin was P8, Adam Elzine, of course, the young man, just 14 years of age, invalidating his lap there at the end of that session. But what a qualifying session, and once again, sectors 1, 2 and 3, 3 separate drivers getting the purple sectors in each of the 3 sectors, Isaac, as well. So we see that quite a bit, don't we?
Oh, well, sharing is caring, and I work in a school, and I spend a lot of time trying to teach kids that, yeah, sharing is caring, and it absolutely is. So we're sharing around the fastest sectors here, and I know we talked about, you know, the Watkins Glen pole. We had 2 drivers that set the exact same time, but 400ths, 0.04 is still a ridiculously close qualifying time for drivers that set their laps separately. One went out and did a lap, and the other one went out and did a lap. We thought Matt Donetti invalidated. He just held on. So I think that's still a wonderful result for both those drivers to be so close after such a long time of qualifying. We've done 3 sessions, so many laps. And yeah, just for that to be as close as it is, less than 2/10 between the top 3 in the field, that's a wonderful result for qualifying, and a great job by these drivers to wring everything they can out of these cars.
What a qualifying session. Everybody across on the Adrenaline GT YouTube chat. Good job, fellas. Thank you to everybody for the kind comments. That is exactly, Drew, why we love a good old-fashioned AGT shootout, of course. And, well, it gets better, of course, gentlemen, because we now qualifying is in the books. Struick on pole position. Guess what? We've got the big one, Isaac, on Sunday from 1 p.m. Eastern Time. We cannot wait for that here, of course, on TrackSpotTV.
Oh, I am so excited. I cannot wait. Last time we did a race like this, it was an absolute thriller of a race. There was action happening everywhere. We should have around about 30 cars on the grid come race day on Sunday. So 2 hours, Spa-Francorchamps. It's a classic circuit. Anything can happen. And with the times being as fast as they were in qualifying, I expect we'll see a lot of good action. But Liam, obviously we have your pleasure in the commentary box tonight. We won't see you in the commentary box on Sunday, but I have no doubt you'll be able to take your eyes off this one. You'll be tuning in to watch.
I think if the better half will let me have it up on my phone while we do whatever we're doing on that day, then yeah, I think I will have my hand firmly placed on the phone watching the stream, because it's going to be an exciting one, especially that top 10 is just shaken up so much. I think race pace wise, it's going to be hard to look away from those BMWs. I think Spa is a circuit that certainly suits them, and we're going to see that on Sunday in the 2-hour race. Mustangs potentially faltering a little bit over the longer distance, especially if it does get a little bit too cold, but that's for Sunday to decide, I think.
Absolutely. Big thank you to Liam Tame, of course, Viper as he's known around the traps. Liam, thank you for joining us. Have a fantastic weekend. And Struick, Danetti, Bishop and Simmons, that's your front 2 rows of the grid. We hope you can watch the race on Sunday. There we have it, Liam Tame there joining us, and what a fantastic character he is. And, well, Isaac, that is our lot here for qualifying. But let's just have a look at the details for the big one on Sunday, of course. 120 minutes, 2-hour race on Sunday afternoon, kicking off from 1 p.m. Eastern Time. And like I said, that top 4, Struick, Danetti, Bishop and Simmons, that's going to be an absolute cranker come Sunday afternoon.
Oh, I can't wait. And just a note as well, Max Silva came into that shootout P10, qualified in 6th in the end, and that's what we spoke about coming into this set. You know, it's one thing to get into the shootout, but you just got to be in there, and there's an opportunity for you to move forward, and that's exactly what he did. He kept his lap tidy. It was a really, really good time in the end, and Braden Henderson as well got himself up to 5th. So those two were going to be on the 5th row of the grid. They're now on the 3rd row of the grid, and they're in a really strong position. Obviously, Al Dusty, or Max Silva, is looking to claw back some points to Adam Gray in the Pro-Am Championship, and now he's in a position where he's in front of Adam Gray at the start of this race, so hopefully he can stay that way. But again, look at that little note down the bottom there, underneath the weather, variable, and variable it certainly will be. So here's hoping we might see some rain, Trev.
Absolutely, you never know around this beautiful Spa circuit. That is all we have time for here. What a top 10 shootout we've seen here this evening. Don't forget, this is powered by TrackSpotTV. All the W's.trackspot.tv. It is time for a revolution in the world of sim racing. You might even want to get involved in some commentary. Head over to the website and send us a message. But that is all we have time for here this evening for Adrenaline GT Round 8 qualifying. The top 10 shootout knockout qualifying is done and dusted here this evening. Don't forget to join us for the big race on Sunday. Be kind to one another, have an excellent weekend, and the next time you'll hear from us is Sunday afternoon for the big race here in Belgium. But for now, it's goodbye. See you next time.
been trying to say. Words don't come straight from my head to my mouth. It's such a shame that it fell out of place. Was never me that was bringing you down. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for more? Always looking for more. Why we always looking for more? Why we always looking for I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that I could change what you wanted. I wish that